Rob, what is our second main topic today?
John, our second comes to us from Bryson. It was a bombshell night for DC fans.
Yes,
but
it was.
aside from the Superman news, did you see that James Gunn confirmed that him and Peter Safran have met with Ben Affleck about directing a DC movie, but they're just trying to find the right project? What are your thoughts? Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in. And yeah, listen, there was a lot to go over with stuff that came out yesterday. A lot of stuff, absolutely. And we're going to get into a lot of that. But there was also some really, really exciting stuff that came out. And one of the big things of that is Ben Affleck. Now, I have contended for a long. It's been a bit since he's gotten into the director's chair. But Ben Affleck was simply, surprisingly to a lot of people, became like one of the hottest directors in Hollywood, culminating really in his film winning Best Picture at the Academy Awards with Argo, which also, by the way, won Ben Affleck the Directors Guild Best Director of the Year award. He Gone Baby Gone,
Gone Baby Gone, The Town, Argo, and Live by Night.
I mean, The Town is a criminally underappreciated film. And I don't mean underrated, because everybody who's seen it knows it's great, but underappreciated in the fact that not enough people have watched it. It's great. He is a fantastic director. And one of my I was more lamenting. See, Ben Affleck is also my favorite Batman. But when we found out that he was leaving Batman, I lamented more the fact that we weren't going to see him direct the Batman movie. Hey, Matt Reeves did a great job. Full kudos to Matt Reeves. But, you're welcome. But I was I was more bummed about him not directing it than I was about him not playing the role anymore. But, we've seen bridges be fixed up with the change of ownership at Warner Brothers. We've seen some bridges being rebuilt. And on Twitter yesterday, as all the other news, which we will get into here in a bit, about the stuff going on was happening, one Twitter user asked James Gunn, could Ben Affleck direct again? Now, let's bring up my screen here, Jonathan, and James Gunn responded simply with this. And I not only might, we actually physically met with Ben Affleck yesterday, him and Peter Safran. We physically met with Ben Affleck yesterday precisely because he wants to direct and we want him to direct. We just have to find the right project, he says. We actually got together and met. We didn't send text messages. We didn't drop a nice little email. No, we met with Ben Affleck because he wants to direct a DC project and we want him to direct a DC project. Hot damn! Hot damn! This is exciting to me because listen, Ben Affleck not only is a world-class Academy Award winning, multiple award winning director in all things, he is particularly a Batman, just psychotic. He loves Batman, but he loves his DC characters as well. He loves his comic book characters. And to get somebody like that to get on board as well. Now look, I still remember the day when he dropped that little test footage he did with Joe Manganiello, with Joe as Deathstroke. It's like, now I don't know that they're finally going to do that script. And by the way, I do not expect that Ben Affleck is coming back to play Batman again. Clearly, we know they're going a little bit younger. We know that with Superman, which we'll talk about here in a bit. But I'm going to assume they're going to do that with Batman as well. So I'm not expecting, I'm not, going to get my hopes so high that I'm going to think Ben Affleck's going to come back to play Batman. But oh my God, listen, if you offered me a choice, I'm not kidding. If James Gunn were to give me a call today and say, John, we got a choice here. We can either have Ben play Batman or we can have Ben direct a DC project. As much as I love Ben playing Batman, I want Ben Affleck, because him playing Batman will only influence the movie so much. Directing a DC film, he's got a lot of control over and a lot of influence that he'll have over how good that movie can be. So you're talking about the guy who directed a Best Picture Academy Award winner? Hell yes. This is one of the best things I've ever heard.
For the same studio.
So James Gunn and Peter Safran have wasted no time. And we're going to talk about the Henry Cavill thing here in a bit, but the fact that they met with Ben that Ben wants to come back now, direct a DC project, and they want him to do it. Now it's just a matter of which project is the best one for you to do, Ben. Listen, a lot of things have me sad today, but that is one of the things that's getting my spirits up a little.
The holidays are officially upon us, and it's time to start celebrating. Do your thing and holiday your way with MeUndies. Because it's the most wonderful time of the year to try MeUndies, because they're currently offering a very merry deal. Get 20% off your first purchase with free standard shipping and free returns when you go to MeUndies.com/Campea. Guys, you know I've been wearing MeUndies for a while now because I used to be like everybody else. I would go to the big store, buy the biggest box of the most generic underwear, and I thought that was good enough. But ever since I started MeUndies and started wearing the most comfortable underwear I have ever worn in my life, I swear on this Christmas season, I will never go back. So get your holiday shopping finished early and start making time for yourself with the new MeUndies holiday collection. Their undies, long underwear, and sleepwear are made out of the softest, most supple fabric you've ever felt and are guaranteed to bring you comfort and joy to all of your loved ones. Shop their classic plaid prints for a traditional, picture-perfect style, or get festive with their adventurous limited edition sweater prints. Available in sizes extra small all the way through 4XL, MeUndies has what you need to make all of your favorite people smile this holiday season, all in one convenient place. So to get 20% off your first order, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Campea.
But anyway, Rob, you hear James Gunn right from his mouth. He wants to direct, and we want him to do it. Now we're just going to find the project for it to happen. Is this a good move? Is this kind of like a redemption arc? And what could you see Ben Affleck directing?
Well, first of all, it's a great idea because, Warner Brothers as a studio traditionally has long-term relationships with filmmakers. All of those 4 movies that Ben Affleck made were Warner Brothers films, beginning with Gone Baby Gone through Live by Night. And he's definitely always been a team player, in terms of, first of all, and another thing about Warner Brothers, when they've developed scripts at Warner Brothers, sometimes scripts have been around for decades before they get made. Yeah. Like Speed Racer, I was doing coverage on Speed Racer scripts in 1990, and the Wachowskis didn't make it until almost 20 years later. So it wouldn't surprise me if his Deathstroke script somehow in a new form is their lead Batman film. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because they've already spent the money. It's already been developed. From all accounts, it's a great, great, great script. I've never heard one thing about that script where anybody said it wasn't great. So you have a Batman script where Batman's already in place, and Joe Manganiello he's older now, and Slade Wilson's supposed to be older.
Yep. He's aged into the role.
And that's what I'm saying. If you've got that, and he's just the kind of casting James Gunn would go for anyway. I could see that happening. And I'm not saying he's going to do that, but why wouldn't Ben Affleck direct a Batman movie? That's what he wanted to do in the first place. He was going to do that in the first place back when he was doing the script. I would say there's a reason why they met with Ben Affleck. Like, they have a plan, but if they've also got their assets, they don't just want to start from scratch. If there's stuff that was on the drawing boards that is viable, I would imagine they're like, we have a script. It's really good. I developed it. I want to direct a movie for you. Now, they're not going to come out and say what it is right away because they're going to announce their plan.
So you think they might already have an idea what they want that project to be?
100%. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's that script in some new form that's going to be rejiggered to fit inside whatever the DC.
Well, that's key, right? Because they can't just come out and take the script and just do it, because now James Gunn has this new universe that things are going to have to fit into, right?
I was just going to tell Rob, but other than his script, you should look beyond that on what he should be directing.
Oh, damn it. I wish I had something here. I'll bring it to
Here's the thing about that. I really honestly believe that with this new DC universe, they are going to start from scratch, which doesn't mean they couldn't do a one-off Batman Beyond movie because I think part of their plan is they're going to make Elseworlds movies. They're going to make movies outside of their regular continuity.
It won't be Batman Beyond. Because here's why.
I mean, he's not going to direct Batman Beyond.
No, but I don't think you're going to see a Batman Beyond film right now, because then you would literally have 3 Batmen. Mm-hmm. You would have, and I don't think...
I agree.
David Zaslav. No. I mean, I don't think... David Zaslav made that comment there, so we're not going to have multiple Batman.
No. I think you're absolutely right. But I do think that they are going to reestablish the pantheon, call it the Justice League if you want. Not just the Trinity, but they're going to go for the entire pantheon of these films. And they're all going to be relative characters that are relative contemporaries. Which means, I mean, we'll talk about this later, but I think we're looking at Batman and Superman late 20s to early 30s. I think they're going to work in that arena so the characters can then move up. You know, they'll make 10 years of each character will get a trilogy and they'll make Justice League films or whatever. That's what I would assume they'll do. So they're going to keep them around the same age. We're not going to get some college age Superman.
No.
You
They're
know,
not going to go that young.
No. But I do think, look, it's very exciting. And why not? What do you want to do, Ben? Bat. What do you want to do,
What do you do,
Batman?
Batflick? What do you want to do?
I think that I do think that he will be directing the next Batman movie.
See,
In their universe.
I'm not as optimistic as you that it'll end up being Batman, but I think you're right. It is possible. I mean, remember the things we heard coming out of DC or coming out of Warner Brothers from people who saw Ben Affleck's script. And we saw some very affluent people who made claims that they had seen the Batman script and said it was, remember the one, it's the best Batman script ever written, is what some people were saying about it. I mean, so maybe they could go back and say, let's retool this. Let's adapt it so it fits into our new world. But if it weren't Batman, let me throw it over to you. If it's not Batman,
Right.
I mean, when you look at Gone Baby Gone, Argo, The Town, it's all character.
Yes.
Who do you think they could give and hand over to Ben Affleck that he could really richen up that way?
Well, I mean, you know, if it's got to be somebody, it's got to be, first of all, I think it's got to be some character that's set in an urban world. A city. I don't think he's
That's
gonna
right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah,
though.
I don't think it's going to be Green Lantern. I don't think, unless they were going to do, I mean, maybe they'll make a Nightwing movie or something like that. But I mean, it's a little cliche to say because he's made these 3 crime thriller films, something along those lines.
Which fits right in with the Batman, actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like of all the things he's going to do. Plus, what I really love about this idea of Deathstroke or Slade Wilson and Bruce Wayne is that they're kind of mirrors of each other. And the conflict between the two of them, both very wealthy men, both incredible fighters, and Batman would have a disadvantage to Slade Wilson. Like a younger Batman, and here's a formidable foe, and two guys going head to head with one another is fascinating to me.
By the way, Katie Jane in the live chat, thank you for this, Katie, brought up a really interesting thing because the way we're talking, Green Arrow. A Green Arrow directed by Ben Affleck could be really interesting.
You know, I was even saying, I mean, the Mike Grell run of Green Arrow starting the 80s that's set in Seattle with the series The Longbow Hunters, that could be something as Ben Affleck as a comic book fan. That's a really interesting idea.
All right, guys. We could talk about this all day. I love this news. I'm very enthusiastic about it. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? James Gunn has said him, Peter Safran, and Ben Affleck have sat down. Ben wants to direct a DC film. They want him to do it. They're just going to try to figure it out. What do you think? Do you think, like Rob, that they already know what project it's going to be? Do you think maybe they haven't figured it out yet? Do you think it could be a Batman film? Maybe he'll look at something else. Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.